Hi, I'm Jeff Barton, and welcome to the show. This is the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and I'm, again, Jeff Barton, your host. Every week at Sunday, about 4:30, you can tune in and see some terrific guests that we're going to talk about local issues, local problems, and how we're going to be able to help solve them for you, the people who are watching the show. I know it's a new channel. I feel like Alistair Cook here in my old beat-up shirt and my raggedy tie. However, understand that there's a lot going on behind what the guest is saying. So what I'm saying to you today is several things. One, watch us each week. Two, we have some great information for you. We have some terrific guests. Today we're going to have on, 4 or 5 different guests that are going to talk about real estate here in Las Vegas. We're going to talk about some of the problems here in Las Vegas. How are these problems being solved by not only the local realtors or the local city people in government, but about how you can take advantage of some of the things we're talking about. Let's talk about a little bit about what's going on in the city of Las Vegas. What kind of city do we have here? I've been out here since 2004, and I've seen a lot of changes. Obviously, through the recession, it was unbelievable the changes we had. And now, since we've out of the recession, we're 10 years beyond that. What is happening here in the valley, and how is that going to affect you and your decisions about what goes on in the real estate market? A couple of the things I wanted to get to before we get to the show. Okay, what affects you, where you live, and how you live? And those things that are going on in the valley today that are problems, like you've got water problems out here, you've got school problems out here, you've got a lot of things that need questions answered. And because the economy has been a roller coaster, it's been like this, right, for the last 10 years. Finally, we've got some stability. Finally, we've got our feet under our on the ground and underneath us. So where is it headed now? And what plans are we making for you to be able to help you to determine what your decisions are going to be? Look, this is a broadcast channel. We are broadcasting to people out there who look at us locally. So we're very happy that we're on the air, and we hope to see you again and again. I'm Jeff Barton, your host, and we'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, and I will be your voice for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, LVRES, and we hope that you make this appointment viewing every Sunday night at 4:30. We hope to bring you some terrific information about real estate here in the Valley, what makes it tick, the opportunities that are available out there. Some of the things that draw people to the show are everybody likes real estate and everybody's got a real estate story. So we hope to bring guests to the show which will help you make some determinations for yourself about what you want to do with your own real estate decisions in your life. With us tonight, once again, is Omar Merced. Omar, how are you?
I'm doing great, Jeff.
Omar does a bunch of flipping here in Las Vegas market, and I wanted to bring him back to the show. He's been on the radio show several times, and so I'm glad you could make it. Thanks very much.
My pleasure.
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself so that the audience can understand who you are, what you're doing, and the things that you do here in the Valley and how long you've been here.
Okay. All right. My name is Omar Merced. I'm the CEO of Real Estate Wishes. We're a local company that does flips here. I started in real estate back in '05 when I bought my first fourplex, and then kind of never stopped from there.
You buy it here?
No, that one was in Alabama. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, Alabama.
Oh, okay. So you've done real estate more than the Valley. Okay, great.
Yeah. So in 2005, I partially moved here to Vegas, and I've never left. I came here for a weekend and decided this is where I want to live.
Right.
So in 2009, I made the move official, and at that point, I became a real estate agent. Actually, I had started flipping, but in the downturn, kind of lost everything.
Okay, interesting you bring that up, the downturn. Now, this was hit harder than any place in the country
Yes.
in terms of what happened to the real estate market. And I remember when I was looking to buy out here at that time, being afraid of spending $22,000 on a condo because I thought there was more to drop in the market.
Yes.
Where has it come from then?
We are almost at, I don't know the exact statistics, but we're pretty darn close to where we were pre-recession or
Pre-recession?
Yeah, pre-recession. Values in Las Vegas have just been amazing for the last, 9 years now?
Right.
6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Right, we're 10 years out.
It's made what I feel to be almost a full recovery, and with no signs of slowing down over the next couple of years. I'm very bullish on the Las Vegas market over the next couple of years, obviously for some of the reasons we'll talk about later, but I think there's a lot of room for growth still here.
Okay, let's talk about what you like to do, which is flip houses.
I love to flip houses, yes.
Okay, I want to bring you back again and again because this is probably the #1 reason people come to Vegas or invest in Vegas, because they're looking at putting money down and either making money on the return of whatever the rent is, past your return of investment, or waiting and selling. What's the process? How do we start? What would you do if I walked in and said, I want to flip a house?
I would say good luck. No, flipping houses is something that's been very popularized over the last probably 10 years with the shows, and obviously when we were pre-bubble,
right.
That's you saw all those flip this house, flip that house, and,
right?
And it was all nicely packaged in a 30 minutes to an hour show, but you know that's not the truth.
No, it's not.
There is it's a business. It's complicated, but at the end of the day, real estate's not that hard, right? You buy something, you have to buy it at a good price, and you have to make the smart renovations, and then you have to sell it as quickly as possible. But you don't want to be got holding properties too long, because the truth of the matter is it is short-term speculation. We're speculating by buying it at the price that we bought, the time that's elapsed. By the time we put it on the market, that we'll have that number that we had in our mind, or if not better. What I've been seeing recently is that number that I had in mind versus what I put it on the market, it's been a lot better, and prices here are just kind of going crazy. They're going up and pretty quickly.
Now this is all over the valley? Or is this
all over the valley? I think every city, there's certain has pockets that appreciate better than most.
Right.
And there's a ton of information from title companies that show you what zip codes and what areas appreciate higher than the most, which would be a good, to have
indicator. Absolutely.
But generally in Las Vegas, everything is doing really well.
Okay. And that's single family as well as multifamily, condos, townhomes?
Well, the bread and butter, what I do is single families, so that's more my expertise. But on the same token, with the rising medium home price, it automatically translates to condos and townhomes, and because it's a lower price point for entry for the new home buyer. I think our medium price home is just under $250,000. It's up,
right.
It's up, and it just continues to go up.
It's an incredible recovery based on the national averages and where Las Vegas was, 7, 8, 9 years ago. Yeah. It's just now the volatility in this market. Do you see it returning?
That's going to be a long debate that we'll have as far as what the market does here, and there's so many factors that affect a real estate market. All real estate markets are local, so when you say like the national, to me it's too hard. Now there are events and actions that affect the national market because they affect the national economy, and of course the economy is the driver of the housing market. Las Vegas, like I said, has some amazing things. In short, a major, I don't want to say another recession, but a major correction, it'll affect Vegas because it'll affect tourism, and tourism does affect Vegas.
Right.
For now.
Hey, thanks very much for coming on the show. I'm going to have you back next week. I want to continue the discussion because I think our audience likes to hear about flips because a lot of them are in that same business.
And flips are sexy. So.
Thank you very much. And I'm Jeff Barton, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hamilton Workshop Series, and I'm Jerome Hamilton. When you attend a Hamilton Workshop Series event, you're going to get hands-on education. You're going to get location scouting already taken care of for you, photographic lighting experience at the tip of your fingers through the whole event, pre- and post-shoot workflow as we work together with you to get through all the odds and ends. Also, at the Hamilton Workshop events, you don't just work with me. We bring in top quality published photographers that you get to work with side by side, professional mentors with you whenever you need it.
I've been a professional photographer for 24 years, and I have clients like Sports Illustrated, Target, Carhartt Clothes, and I bring that type of experience into the Hamilton Workshop Series. No photographer is the same, and we understand that. What we do is we provide one-on-one quality instruction on how they can improve on their weaknesses. We teach them flash photography, we teach them natural lighting, we teach them what lens selection and what equipment to use to get the shots that they need. What we want the student to leave the workshop with is with confidence, quality of images, and an enjoyable experience.
At the Hamilton Workshops, we don't just want you to take pictures. We want you to learn to create images. We want you to think on your own. We want you to create a style. If you want to check out one of our next workshops, go to jeromehamilton.com. There's a workshop page, check it out. We want to empower you to be the best photographer that you can be.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, and welcome to the Las Vegas Real Estate Show on our last segment. I always, on this particular segment, like to bring in a panel of people who are experts in different fields here in Las Vegas and in the general real estate market as well. And I appreciate you all coming back for the last segment, because it's the best segment. And every Sunday at 4:30, make sure you tune in. We have 3 different guests with us tonight, and I just wanted to welcome them all here. Hi, everybody. How are you?
How you doing? How you doing, Jeff?
Well, I'm great. Thank you very much. Terrell Robinson, Big Tech's real estate and investment here in Las Vegas. And next to him, of course, is Rebecca Fitzgerald. Hi, Rebecca. And she's a real estate agent out here in Las Vegas. And Charles Giscombe, who is a mortgage loan officer and done in secondary marketing for the sale of loans with a number of different companies. Welcome all, and thanks for coming to the show.
Thanks for having us.
In order to make this happen the way I want it to happen, I'm going to throw out some topics. These are experts in the field. I'm going to let them hash it out a little bit and try to figure out where we are and what we're going to do and how we're going to solve some problems here. But for you at home who have any questions, make sure you get on the phone, get on the emails, send them all in to us, because what we're trying to do is get a conversation going about our market here in Vegas. So first topic up, as you all know, I've sent you out some information about what the investors were like when they came here in 2008, 2007, and they scooped up a lot of properties, hundreds of properties, but not major investors. These would be the 4 and 5 unit people, the people that bought several houses. Well, what's happened now, as you all know, is that those houses aren't selling. The people who bought the houses at a low price are now renting them out and making money. So what happens in a case like this where we've got in Vegas a market where we don't have enough houses for the people that are here, let alone the people that are coming here? What are we going to do about it? Jump in, please.
I mean, the most logical solution would be to build.
Right.
So that's already happening. Party, Berkshire, all the bigger companies have already come. They've already started building in lots of North Las Vegas, Henderson, and the South Side. It's all.
So let's talk about North Las Vegas. Used to be the worst place in town, right? Used to be a tough neighborhood. What are they doing up there with the master plan? I've heard a lot of great things about it on the radio show that we've interviewed some people. Do you know what's going on up there?
Yeah, they have a lot of really nice communities. They they center around parks with fountains and little almost like creeks almost in the middle of them, and they center that around the houses around that. So it's like making people want to live there. People feel safe. They know their neighbors. It's a very close knit community, and a lot of them have gated and different things like that that's drawing people to it.
And it's also where you can go. You got to understand, a lot of the stuff in here has been gone. So you go further out. You push them further out, trying to get the properties. Everybody's right. They have to remember that in the market, the way the cycle goes and the way the bubble goes, those that were first will be last, and those that were last will be first. So those markets collapse, that rose, those will collapse, they'll rise again, and that's how it works. But in Vegas, it's not enough supply. So you go further out to these places that weren't favorable.
Now I've read, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've also read that the builders that are building rental properties. They're not necessarily building a lot of single family stuff. True? Not true?
Me and Rebecca were talking about this off camera, and she made a great point. Basically, what she stated was the rental market in Vegas never went anywhere.
Right.
Because when it became difficult to purchase, you always needed a place to live, so you always rented. There was always going to be renter, there always will be renters. So now you build these because the rental market is the most stable piece of anything, especially with the volatility of what the market is. So Rebecca made a great point out there. I have to give her credit on that. She said, but the rental market is still stable, and she's absolutely right.
And to add on to that, the government's not going to allow people to live in the street. So even if the worst case scenario, there was another crash, the government will have to end up subsidizing these homes. While they might not be at the same price points of the rentals that they've got up to at this point, but people can't live in the street. It's impossible.
Right. Another thing to take a look at too as well, this is still a very transient city, so people are coming in, coming out, even with their jobs. So you want to be able to have the big supply of rental places to where they can live at, because they may stay here for a temporary season. They can be here for a year, or they can be here for 18 months. Right now we're having a big influx of nurses that are coming in, and what they'll do is they'll come in on a contract for about a year, and then they'll leave and go to another city. Well, they're not going to buy a house, so they need somewhere to rent, and then of course they have these companies that pay their rent, and then they leave out and go to the next market.
Well, wait a second. You guys all live here, right? This is your home. This is where you settled roots. This is where you live. Is it a good thing to have a continued building of rental properties when you're really looking for more stability in the market? Obviously, if you're owner-occupied neighborhood, you have much more stability than if you're investor-driven or if you're rental-driven.
I wanted to add on to the back of that goes to what you're talking about too, and that is a lot of people are still and are finally recovering from the crash. There's a lot of people, and not to go into another segment, that have credit issues that can't purchase. So they have to rent. It's a little bit easier to get into a rental property than it is probably to purchase, or that's what it would seem. But obviously we can help with those individuals too. Little plug. But the reality is
that's true.
Yeah, but that's what happens, and so you have to look at it that way too. But it is transient. Individuals are coming in and out, like Tex said, and so you have to look at all those things.
I think another reason is if you've read the studies from like Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, the reason that all these investors are building rentals is because the younger generation, the millennials, they do not want to own homes. And
Good point.
A lot of them don't want to. They literally just don't want to. Like something like upwards of like 70% of them say they don't want to own them before they're 30 because they want to spend their money on nonsense and traveling. And, the internet and social media has just changed the mentality of the younger generation. And then on the other end, the baby boomers are all retiring. These people that didn't plan for retirement and they don't own anything, like they have no income now. They're going to be on a fixed income, and they're going to be renting as well. So the rental market is going to continue to expand.
Awesome point.
Okay, so in this very unique market, right? We can all agree that Las Vegas, Nevada is an incredibly unique market.
That it is.
It is not like other markets where I've lived, whether it's back east in Boston or New York or in Chicago or Los Angeles, as big cities and small towns too. How do you plan for the future in a city which is transient? Millennials don't want to buy. They'd rather live at home and wait and push off that kind of investment. How do you protect the community, those people that do live here and have families, from the type of crash that took place in 2008 when the investors just up and left?
Again, at a different time, a different place.
Okay,
these baby boomers, again, are going to be retiring. What happens when you're in California on a $500,000 salary and you can't afford your expensive house anymore? You have to go somewhere else. You have to either downsize. And LA in particular, there's nowhere for people to go. That housing market, they need 100,000 units per month to be built in order to keep up with the demand. So these people are going to they're going to get pushed out to Arizona, to Las Vegas. And in Henderson, they're building the whole medical complex for older people. So these people are going to be coming here. So it's going to be more of a stable community. And plus, the Raiders are coming here. There's like plenty of things that are developing here. They've had talks of Tesla. Zappos came in. There's plenty of things they're actually trying to build here to make it a stable city. And it's not just going to be a transient. And again, with the marijuana industry, if you've seen what it's done in Denver, it's increased the housing market out there at least by 50%. So there's so many things that are coming here. And the medical marijuana research here is one of the best in the country. So there's so many things that we're going to be coming, and it'll just keep like a snowball.
Are we all like, I guess, researchers on the medical marijuana? Is this a personal You know, we all
No, we just well, actually, again, you like she said, you actually just watch the market and what they've done. And I have a brother that lives in Denver, Colorado.
I see.
And he does real estate investing there. And the medical marijuana, it's stabilized them, but actually, people are actually moving there again, and the market is still continuously rising up. So if Vegas follows that trend, we will have the same issue that we will have the same problem that Denver, Colorado will. So that's why it's very huge. And you see the signs that are up right now.
Yes, you do.
Also, another thing, a big thing too, is doctors. They're building the school for doctors to come out here because Nevada, UNLV doesn't have a school for the doctors. So the big thing is when I moved out here in 2003, they used to run a commercial, I-15 of doctors walking to LA. And the reason being because there was a lot of malpractice lawsuits. Now the doctors are actually coming back because of now everything is stabilizing. Cost of living in LA is way more than what they thought it was going to be. So, and again, like she said, the baby boomers moved my in-laws out here. It's a lot cheaper for them to be able to lease and rent out versus own too as well. So
okay, let's switch up topics a little bit. Okay, read in the paper last couple of weeks. Legislative session is about to end, right? Everybody here knows that the legislature meets 4 months of the year, every year, try to jam everything in, try to get it all done as quickly as possible.
Of course.
We love Las Vegas, we love Nevada, but there are some quirky things that we all deal with. One of the things that they were talking about is this regulation on Uber and Lyfts versus the taxi companies. So you're a retired person and you live quite a bit of distance away from where you need to get, whether it's your doctor, whether it's you want to go see a show, friends in town, you don't have a car, you're on a fixed income. Prices in taxis are expensive, whereas Uber and Lyfts are not. How do we deal with it when choices of transportation dictate where you live? They just do.
Well, first and foremost, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You have to understand the history of TLC. Vegas is built on that kind of situation, and that's kind of grandfathered situation, and you kind of don't want to ruffle those feathers in this particular area. I mean, Las Vegas is a big, huge place people think about, but really the network of individuals that control that aspect of it are very, very small. They're very friendly, okay? And so it's tough to break into that situation. So you bring a Lyft and an Uber idea out, you're ruffling feathers, because you're taking away income streams and situations that we've built for years.
But what happens to the customer, the client, the people who need to get to the doctor? Go on, I'm sorry.
Well, you had said, how do you deal with that? How does it dictate where people live? Well, from every other city, like I grew up in Austin, Texas, and it's happened there. It's happened in Philadelphia. It's happening right now in LA. What they're doing is they're gentrifying the cities. It happened in New York, where you're from. They gentrify these cities. People don't want to live in the middle of nowhere. But what happened was these were like slums, and no one wanted to live next door to the slums. So all these cities have basically run off the poor people, to raise the taxes and get them out of there, and then now people are like, cool, I can live in the middle of the town. They're close to everything again. So to answer, that's how you deal with where people dictate where people live, is you gentrify the cities.
So is this a political will situation versus just a natural evolution? I mean, do we need the planning in the city, which I think we get what we were talking about in North Las Vegas, with what they're trying to do in their master plan, and how are they trying to develop what was, like you said, an area that needed gentrification. What are we doing here? The political landscape, we have an election coming up, June 6th.
I think they already have a whole plan for downtown Las Vegas. They've redistricted like most of that area. So they already have a plan. I mean, it's a pretty lengthy plan, but it's already in place. As far as the Ubers and the Lyfts, I mean, I just think that's like going to make our city look stupid, because like we're supposed to be getting the Raiders, we're having all these great things happen to us, but we're going to run off like tourism basically because it's so easy to use Uber and Lyft,
and everybody uses it everywhere else already. You know, in upstate New York, originally where I'm from, you know, New York City has Uber and Lyft. Upstate New York doesn't have it yet. You know, and that's New York. You know, the one thing about it I know, like as far as New York City was concerned, like Rebecca said, when Bill Clinton moved his office to Harlem, you knew everything was changing. Okay? You're going to see people that you normally wouldn't see jogging in Harlem at 3 in the morning with their dog, and you're going to be like, that never happened before. That's because you know what happens. And so now what they say for New York compared to Vegas, in order to live in New York, in Manhattan, you have to be a millionaire,
Right.
so to speak.
Right.
So everybody moves out. Queens, Brooklyn, all those places that have bridges that are close to Manhattan, you can't live there. You have to be fairly well-to-do. So they're pushing everybody out. Just like she said, that's just the way it's happening. And so we are going to look stupid here if we don't get on board with this situation. There's nothing you really can do about that because, like, and also the millennials, they're like, everything's on our phone. This is what we do. This is how we get around.
This is what we do.
This is
That's
what
correct.
we do. This has been happening for a long time. I like to call it the Spacely Sprockets effect, like the Jetsons. Right?
Yeah.
I always say, back in the day of the Jetsons, the phone with the picture on it. Oh, that's never going to happen. Spacely Sprockets,
or the
Jetsons show.
Or the microwave effect. We want it right now. Here's another thing in regards to the taxi guys and Uber and Lyft. One of the big issues here in Vegas is the taxi guys don't like to go into the cities. Let's say Sun City Anthem. Let's say Centennial. Well, if a better way to solve that problem is with Uber and Lyft, if it comes down to it with the transportation system is maybe you have a Uber and Lyft, maybe work the city area, and the taxi guys, they love the airport and the strip area. There's always ways to divide it. There's over 58,000 people in Las Vegas, Nevada that drives Uber and Lyft, and it's an extra income. It could be for, I'm a retired ball player. I don't want to sit on the couch and get fat and lazy, but I can get out and drive around and make a couple of extra dollars. So if I can do it in the city or inside the city limits to take someone to a doctor's appointment or to a grocery store, now you're not jumping onto each other's toes, because that's the big thing, is them coming down to the strip, and the airports is what's really causing the big confusion.
Oh, I see.
Also lower the prices, because Lyft and Uber are cheaper than most of the
That's
taxi
the deal
places.
with me. I mean, if you need a ride somewhere, why would you pay more money? It just doesn't make any sense. If you're on a fixed income, you're not going to want to do it, or you just don't go anywhere.
Right.
I mean,
sorry.
Vegas taxis wouldn't even accept accept credit cards at one point.
Right.
I was in shock. When I first started coming out here, and the guy started yelling at me because I didn't understand. But then, so it's they're so antiquated. It's like you need to catch up. But what it's also going to do is if they get rid of the Uber and the Lyft, it's going to discourage conventions because these guys come like the South by Southwest in Austin. Austin got rid of Uber and Lyft, and everybody was mad when they're like, I don't even want to go because we don't have Uber and Lyft.
It comes down to the supply and demand then. So therefore, if you're sitting there waiting on a cab, there's only 50 cabs, and you have 600 people waiting outside where they easily could call an Uber or Lyft. Now you have to wait for this cab driver to. Now what's going to happen is, like she said, is that people are going to get upset, and we'll go to Orlando where they will allow Uber and Lyft and the cab drivers to work together.
Yeah, I think there's a solution. I like the idea of bifurcating the town into this is your territory, this is our territory. It makes more sense. But if you're on a fixed income and you need a ride, you can't afford a cab, I guess you don't go unless you got Uber and Lyft. Hey, listen, we're up against the clock. Really appreciate you all coming on the show. And I want to have you back because I got a lot more topics to talk about. And, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks
very much.
Thank you so much.
I'm Jeff Barton. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.